a fact the car can do better than that. And Marco, this one's for you. We're maxing out the factory injectors. All right, we're going for a drive. Testing the audio. All right. Let's see, I got my laptop here. I'm gonna do a little bit of data logging. We're gonna go on a cruise. I got a microphone behind here, and then one by the seatbelt by the passenger. We'll just see how it is. Haven't gotten on a drive in a while. I got my draggy here. We'll see what happens. We'll see if we got some space. I'll leave it on, and we'll see what happens. We got a new knob, or I should say back to an old one, to be honest. I got a bunch of racing knobs. The other one that you've probably seen in previous ones, it's the taller one. It's got that beautiful red shade with Alcantara around it. Especially in the winter, that one's perfect because you're mostly grabbing the Alcantara. Here, this is all metal, all stainless steel. It's like a satin finish, but this was in the house, so I'm okay using it now. This one sits a lot lower, and it's a lot heavier. Because of those two things, it makes it feel like it is. It's easier to go into gear, and it offers like a shorter throw since it's sitting lower. So, you know, just switch it up a bit. We'll see. We're going to try and we're going to see if we can safely find some open roads and just do a quick 40 to 100. I've only done the 40 to 100 test once on this, and that's when I first went to phase 3. And I have a video I'll link up here. I'll put in the description too as well or whatever. And the numbers were amazing in the sense of like from stock to phase 1 to phase 2, and then with the upgraded 1446 plus turbo and the Eurocompulsion Phase 3 tune, we brought that down to a 10.22. But I know for a fact the car can do better than that. We're still dialing it in actually. I believe we're maxing out the factory injectors and getting a little bit lean sometimes up top. So we're gonna see. I know Brandon, Toby, and them, the guys that he's here, kind of working on a couple things with injectors. But right now, nothing really has changed besides the tune from the first time I did it. I think it is a different one, but I've been on this tune for a very long time. It's a more conservative tune than what I eventually had at one point, which I was hitting like 27 pounds of boost. This one kind of taps out at 24.5. But it still does taper more than I would like at redline. Only if I start in, for example, second and go third to fourth, which is in this example when you're doing, hold on, let me shut this off. Only when you're doing like second, third, fourth. Second will hold great, third will hold good, and fourth will drop below 20 pounds of boost, where if I start in fourth, it'll hold over 20. This car, as a lot of people have said and know, there's a lot of limiters and things that it does to pull stuff back. I don't know. We just have to overcome that. But until then, I still think it'll be worth it to do a 40 to 100 test on this particular tune, which is a more conservative tune. We'll see what happens. Also, the temperatures are a lot lower, so maybe we'll get lucky. And this video, shout out to Marco with his 500 Abarth, who running Mr. Torque Tune. You know, me and him, we're friends. We go at it a little bit here and there. There's the whole Torque EC debate, but he's local. I'm friends with him. We're always friendly with each other, doing polls and stuff. So the other night, he went E85. And his 40 to 100 was like a 9.5. I think he got 9.59 and then 9.55. So what better way than to go out a few days later and try and beat that 9.5. I got a 10.22 last time. Let's see if we can get better than a 9.55. And I'm still on pump gas. Nothing has changed as far as that goes. And I'm still not dialed in all the way. I still think there's much more power to be had if we can keep that boost holding, especially in fourth gear, because that's that last part trying to hit 100 miles an hour there. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get some nice open road, do a quick pull. And Marco, this one's for you. So let's see, today it's 35 degrees. That's another thing too. When I did my first test, I was almost at 50. It was 48. When Marco did his, it was 18 degrees. I was at negative 300 DA. He was at negative 3,000. So that's an insane difference. We're lucky to be over here in Jersey where the DA is lower a lot of the times, but like I said, I was right about near sea level at that, I was at like negative 300, but he was at negative 3,000 and change, so we'll see. Alright, so we weren't able to beat Marco's 9.54 just yet, but we did go down from a 10.22 to a 9.74. Now keep in mind, I'm still on pump gas, he's on E85, and as soon as we get this dialed in, the tune, which I believe is the injectors, we're kind of maxing them out. Once we dial this in 100%, I'm going to for sure do some side-by-side pulls with him. I don't care if I win, I lose, it's just for the fun of it. Marco's the same way. We've done pulls where I took him, he took me, and it's just for the fun of it, you know, regardless of the holies he took me. When we're together, we're just able to kind of have fun with cars, and that's how it should be. Now, the issue that we all think we're running into as far as what's going on here and it's leaning out near red line is that we're maxing out the factory injectors. Usually when I start to pull, like in second gear at a lower RPM, the AFRs look good, but then as I approach red line, they start to lean out more than they should, which could also be why by the time I get into fourth gear, then boost is lower. I guess, like, you know, the ECU could see it going lean near red line, and because it doesn't have enough fuel, then by the time it goes into the next gear, it's pulling boost to try and compensate and keep the AFRs in check. And then that's why in fourth gear, it's really pulling the boost down and it's, you know, kind of going below 20 pounds because it's like, oh, you know, there's too much air. We need to pull that back so we can get the AFRs in check a little bit. So I'm still kind of learning this stuff as I go, and I know Eurocompulsion is testing out some injectors which should be a good fit for pump gas. I know there are some E85 injectors, they might be too much, but they're going to try and dial in some stuff. We're going to test this out, and this is going to be great because the thing is when you're tuning a car, there are so many variables. Your altitude, your ambient temperatures and everything. I know the altitude, depending on your air density, and like for me where I am in New Jersey, my car is pushing a good amount of boost and it's holding the boost, but because of that I need more fuel. Some folks might not be in that scenario. So the way we're doing is we're testing this out. We're going to dial this in, and then this is also going to be helping other folks who are looking to go 1446 plus turbo, really trying to maximize their power. In some cases you might need to go with an upgraded set of injectors, but hey, that's how you do it. Safer, more reliable, and more power. So hopefully soon we'll be able to kind of crank up the boost within reason, maybe getting back to that 27 PSI, still have enough fuel, keep things running smooth. And of course right now it's too cold to kind of do any launching, quarter mile times or whatnot. So I'm going to stick with this 40 to 100 mile per hour test. I've been doing it for a while. It's a really nice way to kind of compare and see how your car, to have the modifications and tunes, etc., how you see the performance time increase. And like I said, soon as well, we're going to do some friendly pulls with Marco, the 500 Abarth, some other cars, etc. And if you missed it, I'll have another video, which I will link up here and in the description. We got a second 124 Spider Abarth arriving very soon, probably here by the time I upload this, honestly. New Jersey Speed Shop is going to help with this swap. We are putting a K24 in it, with a turbo, shooting for about 400 wheel horsepower, with plenty of room to grow depending on if the transmission will keep up, to be honest. But I'll be documenting that whole entire build on the channel as well. So if you're interested, be sure to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check out New Jersey Speed Shop as well on Instagram. There's a lot more to come with that, as well as this car, my RSX, other cars in general. Appreciate all the support. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.